Profe Schiltz, your student Spanish teacher, and I wanted to take a moment to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about the class. So a little bit about me. I studied Spanish Ed at UW-Madison. During that time, I studied abroad in Lima, Peru for a year. After college, I served in the Peace Corps near Barranquilla, Colombia for about 2.5 years. I'm in my third year teaching here at ETHS, teaching Spanish 1 and 2. And I just started working on my master's degree in Spanish Ed through Southern Oregon University. I should have gone to Mexico this summer to start that program, but instead I had to do it over Zoom, so I have a lot of experience being a student via Zoom as well. And I've been to 11 Spanish-speaking countries. My goal is to go to all of the Spanish-speaking countries. A little bit about my teaching philosophy. I really like to emphasize community and belonging. There's a lot of research that backs up the fact that students learn best when they feel like they're a part of a community where they can take risks and enjoy themselves. So that's really important. I try to provide a lot of comprehensible input, which means that they're hearing the language, and they have a lot of opportunities to hear the language, and they might not understand all of it, but as long as they're learning to understand little bits and pieces, they're really going to grow their vocabulary. I also find it really important to teach students language that they can use in a real world context, so skills like speaking, reading, writing, things like that over grammar. When I do teach grammar, I try to make sure that it's in context. And then finally, culture is very important to me. Having been to so many Spanish-speaking countries, I am really interested in the Spanish-speaking world, and I always try to share my experiences with my students. A little overview of the class. So all of the classwork and agendas are posted in Google Classroom every day. And then the grades are all posted in Hack. So I'm not always going to grade everything or put all the grades in Google Classroom, but they're all going to be available in Hack. So if you don't know how to access Hack yet, you go to the ETHS 202 website, go to Online Tools, and then go to Home Access Center, and then your student will sign on using their ETHS 202 account. When you look in the gradebook, everything will be labeled by days. So then when your student goes to their Google Classroom, they can go to classwork, and then they can scroll down to whatever day the assignment was, and that's how they can find the assignment. Day 1, day 2, day 3. They should be able to see the assignment under there. So that's a little bit how things are organized. During our Zoom sessions, that's when we're going to be doing more in-person things, class meetings, games, speaking, and listening. And then we also are going to sometimes break for asynchronous activities where students can get reading, writing practice, and watch videos and things like that. And during asynchronous activities, students are always welcome to join me in the Zoom session for a little bit more guided help if they prefer that. For grading, we have 2 different categories: assessment, which is going to be quizzes, projects, and then we have these larger, they're called integrated performance assessments, or basically they're just to test students' speaking, reading, writing, and listening skills. And then 40% of the grade is going to be smaller things: classwork, participation, discussions, things like that. Okay. In order to make up work, I will accept late work until the end of the quarter. So if there ever is a Z in the gradebook, that your student can resubmit that work for full credit. That's no problem as long as it's within the quarter. But I do have a late work submission form that's in Google Classroom, and that's just to notify me that the assignment has been completed. If a student does turn something in late, I will eventually see that they turned it in, but I don't always get a notification from the different apps and stuff that we use, so it's a lot easier if that student lets me know using that form. For formative quizzes, smaller quizzes, and things like that, and also for assignments, students can also redo things if they don't like their grade. In Spanish 2, for our larger performance assessments, the reading, speaking, listening, end of the unit test, we don't allow corrections. In Spanish 1, I will allow redos and corrections just because it's an intro level course. All right. So for honors, this is a mixed level class, meaning that there are honors and not honors students both in the same class. They're learning the same things, doing the same lessons, and taking the same assessments. But the honor students are held to a bit higher of a standard. And they're required to keep their grade above a certain level. So that's really the biggest difference. If students have higher than an 85 by the end of September, then they can move to honors. I will kind of announce that to the students and give them the chance to talk to me about wanting to switch to honors. We might actually push that date back a little bit just due to COVID because we haven't taken as many assessments as we normally would by then, so it's harder to tell the student skill level. But I would say sometime at the end of September or in October is when we'll start switching students to honors if they would like to do that. Okay, and honors is pretty flexible. Students can move in up and down anytime throughout the quarter or the semester or the year. So it's not quite as strict. It's not something that you really have to worry about doing it by a certain deadline or anything like that. Just come talk to me and we can see about moving you. All right, so supports. If students need any extra help, I am always sitting at my desk on Zoom every morning from 8:30 to 8:55, so students can just click on the link in Google Classroom and pop in. I also have office hours, which can be by appointment, so if a student wants to meet with me, they can just say, send me a quick email. It's by appointment, but I'm pretty much always available. I can always let them know, so it's not, when I say appointment, it's not, okay, 3 days from now. They can contact me and I'll let them know my availability for that day. There are also study centers so that students can go for like tutoring in their free periods, and that link is in Google Classroom for the World Language Study Center. There's also Wildcat Academy that students should be receiving emails about. Various Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. to get tutoring. They can also sign up for student tutors on the ETHS website. And then there's always kind of extra practice and resources and things like that in Google Classroom. Again, during this e-learning especially, I'm trying to be really, really available via email. So I always try to get back to students as quickly as possible. So if they have any questions or need help with anything, they can always just send me a quick email. Okay, so here's my contact information. It's schiltz@eths202.org. My ETHS phone number, you can reach me at that. It's 847-424-7410. And then my AM support is Tuesday through Friday at from 8:30 to 8:55. And then my office hours are by appointment. Monday, we pretty much have all day, sometimes meetings and things like that, but Mondays we're pretty available. And then Wednesday and Friday, we have a pocket from 2:30 to 3:40. So students can email me anytime they want to meet. So I'm really looking forward to this year. So far, e-learning has been an interesting challenge, but I've really enjoyed getting to know all of your students and their personalities. And I hope that students feel that I'm there for them and I can answer any other questions that they need. And I hope that this year is really enjoyable in Spanish class. So please reach out and let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Adios.